began around March 2024, and this is just about the time I started the most important exams of my life, my A-levels. Pretty much decides what you're going to do with the rest of your life, university, anything like that. And it was top tier procrastination, I must say. And I haven't played a Pokémon game since Auras and X and Y in 2013 and 2015 on my DS. And might I say, Black and White was easily my favourite game of all time. Easily the art style, anything like that, but we'll get onto that when it comes. But I did complete both X and Y because I was a little fucking silver spoon nepo baby, getting everything I wanted on my little fucking Nintendo 3DS.
One key concept when playing the game that I must reinforce is you need to play the game blind. So you should probably stop watching this now, but if you're already in it, please continue on, and please, I hope you agree with me, I'm sure you will. But some moments in the game are so incredible for a Pokemon game, and watching with surprise makes it infinitely better. Obviously, we all know when you played the end and you fight N. This is a 13-year-old game now. 13? 14-year-old game now. So, we all know when all the gym leaders come down and the Elite Four is being mashed to pieces after you see the champion. Incredible scenes. And then now as I go on to explain now, the battle with N is perfect. The climax of the game, Pokemon Black and White, is not just a strength of the game, but it's almost perfection. It's a battle of strength and a battle of ideals between the player character and N. And it begins with the player capturing Zekrom. Obviously it's a symbolic part of every Pokemon game. But this one feels stronger in a sense because instead of you just having that singular Pokemon like you do in X and Y, where you just catch a Xerneas, in this one you capture Zekrom and then you fight against N and he holds Reshiram, and it becomes this battle between two stupidly strong forces and two concepts against each other in a way. Zekrom being a symbol of truth and balance, and I think canonically I prefer using Zekrom. I just think he makes more sense for someone who is championing the player character who wants a bit of chaos from Pokemon versus N, who is more freedom focused, which Reshiram, I think, in terms of design, encapsulates more. The battle between N and the player isn't just about Pokemon combat, it's more of a confrontation between two philosophies, as I've said. N, having been raised by Team Plasma, believes that Pokemon should be liberated from human control. He sees the bond between humans and Pokemon as unnatural and oppressive, whilst the player character, alongside Zekrom, so they're now enforced by this legendary Pokemon, stands for unity, with Pokemon working together, fighting gyms. That's what you do throughout the whole game. And it shows that they can achieve great things together versus N, who's purely... that's why he uses every different Pokemon throughout the whole game. He keeps them freedom. He keeps them cycling because he wants the Pokemon he uses to be free. He uses them once because he's trying to reach this firm goal of them all being completely wild creatures. And the battle isn't just epic. It's a representation of the larger themes of the Pokemon Black and White game, where it's tension between ideals, reality, freedom and partnership. And it's fully explored within this battle. As N reveals a surprise twist, the Zekrom, the very Pokemon the player caught, is a symbol of truth and balance. It deepens the conflict. The fact that Zekrom, once seen as an adversary, becomes a powerful ally in the fight for ideals when he pops up previously in the game, shows the narrative depth. And the strength of this theme lies in its universality. The player, as a representative of the ideal of unity, fights not only to save the world, but to preserve the bond between humans and Pokemon. It's a moment that forces the player to reflect on their own beliefs about the balance between freedom and responsibility. And personally, when I played it, I thought, is it truly correct for us to capture these creatures? Do they want to be an extension of the player character? Do they want to be an extension of the person who controls them? And in the end, the battle isn't just about defeating N, it's about realising the delicacies between the two characters, how strong the themes truly are for a child's game, and where everything is not black and white. Okay, now I have to talk about the most important part of a Pokemon game. Easily. The squad. Now, the game is so incredibly unique in the fact that it has around 150 Pokemon that are completely brand new, nothing from old dexes, and it makes the game really fresh and new in a way, like especially when I played it, because I played X and Y, which is the least original dex. And then I went into this, and it was weird, but you gravitate to a lot of strong choices. Your originals, your fires, your waters. First thing I want to say is, I used Mushana throughout the whole game. Absolutely terrible. Just not enjoyable to use. Starter-wise, I went for Superior. I watched the X and Y anime series as a kid. Superior is fucking cool. It's just a strictly cool looking Pokemon, and that is what I choose my starter on, and I will die on that hill. The next Pokemon I went to, which is also on coolness factor, who is also kind of trash, especially in this game, Zebstrika, just doesn't hit the mark, but an incredibly cool Pokemon, and that's how I think you should structure some of your team. Some, not all. Now, Mr. Consistent himself, for me, was Seismitoad. Absolute brick shithouse of a Pokemon. Takes everyone out, surfs throughout the whole game. Absolute tank, absolute beast. He ticks all boxes. He does damage, he's tanky, can be fast if you're over leveled, but obviously that's a given to anyone. Now, by far my favourite Pokemon from this generation, the coldest, everyone's favourite, was, for me, is Crocodile. Crocodile was fucking wicked. He came in, used his dark type moves, absolutely destroyed any psychic and ghosts. Just cool. A strictly cool Pokemon. That is what I want in my team. Not all the time, but sometimes. One of the Pokemon I do need to talk about, especially in my team, was Darmanitan. Sheer Force ability. It's alright. I got an Attack EV. Attack EV? I got a Darmanitan with high attack stats. I cannot remember. I got a Darmanitan with a great attacking nature. 140 base attack for a Pokemon with 480 stats and 95 speed in Gen 5 is absolutely nuts. Fire type, obviously, so incredible attacking capabilities there, and he just destroys the whole game. He is so incredibly fun to play with.
Okay, that is the end of my video. I've made this in about 3 hours at the end of my night after work. I have no idea if it's good or not. I've tried my absolute hardest to edit it well and make it engaging, make it something people want to watch, something I would want to watch. Please comment any recommendation, anything you would change, anything I can improve on, maybe at what I did well if you enjoyed it. But most of all, it was fun. It was a great experience for me to make such a cool video, in my opinion, because I love Pokemon Black and White. It's very cool. But like and subscribe, of course, and stay happy.